This is the super rare Suzuki Street Magic, and it is absolutely tiny. The Street Magic was Suzuki's oddball mini moto from the late 90s. A lightweight urban troublemaker with a 49cc engine, chunky tyres and a frame so small you could practically carry it under one arm. Look how light it is. And this is a 125cc 2-stroke from the notoriously fast Gilera Runner. The Gilera Runner is iconic, fast, aggressive and hilariously overpowered. And it got me thinking, what would happen if I bolted this engine into this tiny moped? You know, it'd be a good idea to get a before and after. So here we are, riding about on a little Suzuki Street Magic. So light and nimble, like you can imagine this with a big old stonking engine in it. It's going to be a wheelie machine because it doesn't weigh nothing. Full power. Yeah, listen to it. Listen to it. It's like it's stuck in first gear. I think this has been modified or somebody's messed about with it because it shouldn't be screaming. You know, the roller weights and the variator, they're wrong. It's like it's set up for the acceleration rather than the top speed. Let's go faster! Boosh. Listen, I'm a little curious. We're going to do a little investigation. We're going to whip this cover off, have a look at the transmission and find out why this bike is screaming its nuts off. It could be still restricted, it could have the wrong roller weights. Let's find out. High revs with no speed normally means the CVT isn't doing its job. The variator and roller weights control the gearing, and if the rollers are too light or maybe worn out, it just revs like mad without picking up speed. Here's how it works. As the engine revs, these roller weights push outward and force the variator to close. That squeezes the belt higher up the pulley, effectively giving you a taller gear. If the rollers are too light or worn, they can't push the variator out properly. So the bike stays in a low gear, the engine screams and you don't go very far. Alright, so we've removed the roller weights. You know what, I don't think that case has ever been removed. These are, I'm going to assume, are standard, but we'll find out because I'm going to weigh them. Right, there we go, 7.8, so we'll call it 8 grams. I would imagine they're all going to be the same weight. So we'll just bang them all on there, get a total weight. 46.8, so call it 47 grams. And I would say these are quite heavy. However, to drop the RPM, what we're going to need to do is up the grams. Okay, we're going to find out now what difference that's made to the variator. It's a bit wet out here, but let's have a look. Let's see what it's saying now. Let's warm up first. So diddy this thing, so diddy. Oh, it's so wet, so wet. Let's see what we get out of it now. Still over revving. Listen to it. It's like it's got a limiter as well. Or is that an over rev? I think that's an over rev. Still no extra speed, which probably means the gearing is ridiculously short. And yeah, we could tear into the gearbox and diagnose it properly, but let's be honest, that's not why we're here. Right, before I tear into this engine swap, if you're into stuff like this, crazy projects, two-stroke madness let's call it, then you'll know how difficult it can be when you try to come to insure something as unusual as this. But that's why I use Bikesure. Bikesure tailor a quote to your needs. Whether you've got a mint superbike or a questionable 125 swap like this one's about to be, they've basically seen it all before. They are proper enthusiasts. They understand this world. They don't panic when you call them up and you say, hey, do you know what I want to do? I want to bolt a Gilera Runner 125 engine into a silly little moped. And honestly, every build I've done on this channel, they've covered it without any fuss. So if you want insurance that won't freak out when you tell them about your plans or your mods, then give Bikesure a call to see what they can do for you. Cheers, Bikesure. Let's crack on with this project. Stripping a Street Magic is like doing a bike teardown on easy mode. It's brilliant. There's barely anything to remove. Every time I undo a bolt, I feel like I'm working on a kid's toy. Everything's tiny, everything weighs nothing. And every time I pull a part off, I'm reminded this thing really wasn't designed for the chaos we're about to put it through. However, the goal here is simple. Let's get the bike stripped down to a clean, bare frame, ready for some proper fabrication work. Now then, with the Street Magic stripped down to its frame, it's obvious, okay? That frame is not designed to accept the Gilera Runner 125 engine. But don't worry, I've got that all worked out. Here we have a Gilera Runner 125 frame. So what we'll do is we'll take the Gilera Runner 125 frame and we'll somehow fabricate it to fit into the Street Magic frame. The Street Magic frame was built for a tiny 49cc engine. Different mounts, different geometry, different everything. So the plan is to cut out the runner's mounting section and somehow make it live inside the Street Magic frame. Alright, so what we've done here then is we've got the Gilera Runner frame all chopped up nicely, and we can just sort of marry it up to the frame and we can kind of gather or get an idea of how it's, well, hopefully going to fit. With the runner frame chopped down, we can finally start figuring out what actually needs to happen to make this fit. At this stage, it's all small tweaks, trimming bits here and there, just getting everything roughly where it wants to live. There's a lot of stepping back, squinting at it, grabbing a spirit level and asking yourself, yeah, that looks about right. It's pretty close to where it needs to be. I guess you can picture the bike. We've been using a spirit level to just try and eyeball the frame and try and make sure it's all level, and it's looking close. Now it's time to commit. Anything that isn't helping gets trimmed away, and we start making up a few custom brackets to properly tie the two frames together. After a lot of cutting, a lot of grinding, and obviously a lot of measuring, we've bolted this bracket to what would have been the foot peg, and it should be solid. Obviously we're going to tart it up, but it's getting there. It is getting there. Look at it. Things are looking real positive. Look at this. Ha! Oh, it's getting exciting. Look. Incredible stuff. Incredible. So, yeah, let's get the engine back in. Let's start piecing this little Suzuki Street Magic back together, because we might be able to ride it at the end of this upload. Okay, so we might have a little bit of a problem. Now that we've bolted the Gilera Runner frame to the Suzuki Street Magic frame, we've lost a little bit of clearance between this plastic cover and the inside of that frame. But it's fine, we can get around it temporarily because I can just remove this plastic cover. This plastic cover is to aid in cooling the barrel. Draws air in from the side of the engine there and it sends it round the barrel. But if we are not going to be sat standstill, we can get around it temporarily, but of course we've got to figure that out in due course. But for now, I just want to see, well, I want to get the engine back in the frame. I want to see the proof of concept. I want to see this bike, well, taking me down the road. So we're going to whip that off and hopefully get around this little hurdle. All right, look at that. It's starting to resemble a, well, let's call it a overpowered Street Magic. The engine is clearly too big for that frame, but we've managed to kind of make it fit. However, I will point out the fact that this rear shock is a little angled, isn't it? It's not ideal. Where we've lengthened the wheelbase, that's our issue. But I think we want to keep the wheelbase as long as possible because this Street Magic, it's going to be capable of probably like 100 miles an hour, which is going to be crazy. The next stage of this project is to figure out the wiring. Now it's quite basic, however, we do have a new CDI, replacement CDI for the Gilera Runner engine. We need to ensure that we're sending the right signal to the coil from that CDI, and we need to ensure that all power goes via the rectifier correctly. What I've done is I've hooked as much as possible back into the harness. So you can see here, there's the horn. Over here we've got the automatic choke. This is our starter relay, so we know that that goes to the starter motor. That plug is to the rectifier, that's for our battery, and obviously all the way back here are for our lights. Now that plug there is for the old CDI. This is our replacement CDI, so we've got a plug from the engine that goes into this, and then that plug there, that goes to our coil pack. Taking our loom from the engine, we can identify a few things. We know that that is for our starter motor, big bright red cable. That plug there goes into our CDI, and this plug here, that comes from the stator and that goes through the rectifier. So I know on this loom, on the old Suzuki Street Magic loom, those two wires go to our rectifier. With everything identified, it's just a case of joining the two looms together and keeping it as simple as possible. It's actually pretty hard to go wrong here. Now I know the wiring does look a little bit dodgy, but that's okay. We can tidy that up at a later stage. Let's turn the ignition on. Boom. Oh! Now I like the sound of that. That was a spark. Yes, please. So what we're going to do now is, because we've got a beautiful spark, I've gone ahead and I've slapped the carburetor on and I've also put the exhaust system on. We want to hear this run, don't we? We've got a spark, all we need is fuel, and we need a little bit of probably coaxing into life. Let's whip it over. Might have to try and kickstart it. That was not supposed to happen. Obviously I still need to set the ignition up because I turned the key off and it didn't cut out. But that's incredible, that started on the first kick. Yeah, I need to set the carburetor up. It's obviously set to idle way too high. I wasn't expecting that to happen. Scared me. Doesn't that sound beefy? So impressed, so impressed. I mean, that starts so easy and it was ticking over like a peach then. We've got to get this out on the road, haven't we? Oh yeah, baby. It's funny as. Bit smoky. A little tweak of the carburetor and we're going to rip it on the road. Here we are then. So funny. So overpowered. So overpowered. Like we're doing 25, we're doing 30 miles an hour already. This was its original top speed and we're hardly even trying. Feels solid. It really does. Feels solid, it feels smooth, and the engine is crisp. You know, I'm reminded every time I ride it how diddy it is. Every time I ride it I just think this is so silly. I mean, it's just so torquey as well, that engine. It's a lovely engine. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I'm running a bit too much oil, so it's very smoky. Spluttering a little bit. The amount of looks I get as well, it's fun. So funny. I mean, now compared to what it was like before, just tickling the throttle. I thought it'd be vibrating a lot as well, but it's not. It just seems, it actually feels better than it originally did. I've actually improved it. I've made it way better. Right, I've got a bit of confidence now. I'm gonna absolutely full throttle the whole way down this road and see what we get. Oh. Right, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. We're going off the clock. And it feels so stable. That's amazing. Why does it feel so stable? I thought it'd be shaking all over the place. Just spin round here. Oh, it's lifted the front wheel as well. It's getting better actually. Now the engine's warmer. It's running even crispier. Listen to that. I mean, it's incredible, right? We're doing double this original top speed. Double. And the engine is completely standard. And you know as well, the rear shock doesn't feel too bad. I thought it'd be sketchy on the rear, but it's not too bad at all. That was too funny. Oh god, do you know what, I'm so impressed with it. I thought it was going to be so sketchy, as I say. I thought I was going to be in big trouble trying to do anything remotely close to 60 mile an hour. One thing I have noticed though, we've got a bit of a fuel leak. Well, I've just bodged that in there. Obviously the whole bike is kind of a bodge, I will point that out. Lucky it happened now and not during, well, it must have happened during the test ride, I assume. We've been smoking it around. However, I will say this is not the final product. No way. We've still got to tidy it up, and then we're going to tune it. Tune it so much it's going to be max performance. So stick around for that one, because that's going to be even funnier. Anyway, see you later. Hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye.